PeninsulaDailyNews.com website. This is news for North Olympic Peninsula in Washington State. The city of Port Angeles. They're voting on fluoridation, but the asshole that wrote the article did not put a date. The article speaks about tonight, and there's no date. So how the hell do you know when tonight was? Every article should have a date. The heading says, Port Angeles water fluoridation. City council member plans to make motion to end treatment at meeting today. By Paul Gotlieb, Peninsula Daily News. Hey, Paul, why don't you put a fucking date on your article? How the hell are we supposed to know when this took place? Even when they put a date, they don't put a fucking year. How are we supposed to know when this was written? Anyway, let me read the article. Port Angeles. Now that city water customers have spoken, the city council is likely to vote tonight on water fluoridation, and at least one council member said he will move to end the practice. City council member Lee Wetham said Monday he intends to make a motion at tonight's regular council meeting, if another council colleague does not, that the city end fluoridation of the municipal water supply when a contract with the Washington Dental Services Foundation expires May 18th. So you have dentists who are under contract to what? Supply the fluoride? It's non-pharmaceutical grade. This fluoride comes from spraying a mist at the chimney of the fertilizer plant to bring down the fluorosilicic acid. The product is hydrofluorosilicic acid. It contains cadmium, lead, and arsenic. This is not pharmaceutical grade fluoride, and it's used as a medication to treat people who don't need it, don't want it. And for this reason, the practice should be ended everywhere in America, and it's up to you people to do something. Make a phone call, go to a city council meeting, put up a website, make a video, record your voice, and protest the fluoridation of water. Give your reasons, and your personal message will be watched by hundreds of people perhaps. I will help you. Just ask me for some advice. I will tell you that you need something called tags. They are words that bring people to your video. Fluoridation, fluoride, these are two tags. So we have a contract that ends on May 18th, but the asshole who wrote this doesn't know what year. Was it 2013, 2014, 2015, or 2016? Now he says something here in a quote which I don't understand. I am going to be looking for a second, Wetham said. What does that mean? It could mean that he's going to second the motion. If another council colleague makes the proposal, he's going to second the motion. And I think that's what that means. I'm going to be looking for a second. The city council meeting begins at 6 p.m., no date, at City Hall. They give the address, but no date. A November survey of city water customers. November of what fucking year? Did it ever occur to you that you could put the year and make it clear? A November 2013 or 2014 maybe, 2015. A November survey of city water customers inside and outside the city limits that was approved by the city council showed last week that 2,381 respondents, or 56.64%, opposed fluoridation, while 1,835, or 41.27%, favored the practice because they're stupid. They're too ignorant to know the harmful effects of fluoride, and they are too stupid to know that there is no fucking benefit. Quote, the people have spoken, unquote, Wetham said. Another quote, I would find it disheartening if we go through the voting and survey process and just disregard it, unquote. City Manager Dan McKean also expects the council to address the continuation of fluoride one way or the other, unquote, he said. Another quote, I do believe they will discuss it and make a decision. Council member Brad Collins would not comment Monday on whether he would second Wetham's motion, but he said he expects the council to vote on the matter tonight just the same. So that tells you that Brad Collins is probably one who's being bribed, and he's not going to second the motion because he doesn't want to say. Maybe he's waiting for the polluters to cough up his bribe money, and so he doesn't know yet. They're supposed to smuggle an envelope to him this afternoon. Well, I would like Brad Collins to take a polygraph test and tell us if he has ever accepted a bribe to poison the water of the people. I'm highly suspicious of Brad Collins because he would not say if he's going to second Wetham's motion. When people are undecided or favor fluoridation, get their ass under a polygraph test and see if they committed a felony against the people. Everyone should be opposed to fluoridation because there are no fucking benefits. Only detriment. How could anybody favor fluoride unless they were very stupid? These are not stupid people, these are bribed people. Ask them directly, were you bribed? Tell us the truth. Will you submit to a polygraph test to confirm that you were not bribed? We don't trust government. We know that government is thoroughly corrupt. Now, let's get more information here about Collins. He says, quote, "We've been discussing this for well over 6 months," unquote, Collins said, noting that tonight will mark the last regular meeting for Mayor Dan DeGiulio, who did not run for re-election. Maybe he got paid enough to retire. Quote, "It seems reasonable that the mayor would have a vote on this issue," unquote, Collins said. Now, they said that the mayor, Dan DeGiulio, did not run for re-election, and the two people who did run were Marilee Smith and Michael Meredith. And Michael Meredith defeated Marilee Smith for DeGiulio's position 5 seat and will take office early next year. What fucking year? Did this happen 5 years ago or what? Just completely leave the public in the dark about what year. If you write something, it lasts a long time. Tell us what year. I blame Gotlieb for this. He's the author of this article. He's the one that can make it clear what fucking year. DeGiulio and council members Patrick Downey, Dan Gass, Cherry Kidd, and Sissy Brook did not return calls for comment early Monday afternoon. Which fucking Monday afternoon? Do you consider yourself a real writer or a jackass? There's a phone number down here. I think everybody should call him and ask him, what fucking year? The number is 360-452-2345. Extension 5060. 5060. He has an email address at the bottom of the page. Just call him on the telephone and tell him what a fucking asshole he is for not putting the date. He never puts the fucking year. I see a November 27th down below. There's no fucking year. Now there's a heading that doesn't make any sense. Eyeing majority. What the fuck does that mean? What are you trying to do? Save on the ink or something? Eyeing majority. In separate Peninsula Daily News interviews in August of what fucking year? DeGiulio, Wetham, and Gassi said that they would vote to stop fluoridating city water if a majority of survey respondents were against the practice. Well, you got your statistics. The people don't want this shit. They don't want anything that lowers the IQ of their children. Now, does that make sense? Kidd and Collins said in August that they wanted more information before making a decision. What do you need to know? For Christ's sake, if it lowers IQ, that's one good reason to stop fluoridating the water. If it causes fluorosis, you've got 2. If it causes problems for kidney dialysis patients, you have 3 reasons. If it's not a pharmaceutical grade fluoride, that's another reason. If it contains arsenic or lead or cadmium, that's another reason. What fucking information do you need to make a decision? Are you waiting for the bribes to come rolling in? You're going to sell out the people for a bribe? Kidd and Collins are on the wrong side of history here. The city adds between 0.8 and 0.95 milligrams of non-pharmaceutical grade fluorosilicic acid, which contains arsenic, lead, and cadmium, to the city's water supply as a public health measure to prevent tooth decay, with absolutely no proof at all that it does any good whatsoever. It's a fucking lie, and Kidd and Collins are on the payroll of the fluoride polluters. And so the people in their community have to drink from the toilet of industry. Look at the amount of fluoride they're dumping into the water, 0.8 and 0.95 milligrams. This is ridiculously high. There is no safe level. 0 is the only safe level. Even 0.1% is toxic. Opponents say fluoridation amounts to forced medication and is responsible for a host of health problems from brittle bones to low IQ. I think Kidd and Collins have a low IQ and are highly corrupt. They want more information. What has taken you so long? You're in a responsible position. You don't have enough information to decide? I think you're waiting for a bribe. Tell the truth. Would you submit to a polygraph test? Would you be willing to go to prison for a felony if you fail the polygraph test? That's what we want to know from Kidd and Collins. Fluoridation amounts to forced medication. It is a non-pharmaceutical grade. It contains cadmium, arsenic, and lead. And fluoride is more poisonous than lead. Look it up. The city mailed 9,762 surveys to water customers November 6th of what fucking year? And received 4,204 responses by the November 27th no fucking year deadline. Only customers or those who pay water bills were included in the survey, leaving out some water users such as apartment dwellers. Well, that's not fair. What kind of fucking bullshit is that? As if the apartment dwellers don't count? Maybe their IQs are too low. Survey respondents included more than 1,500 Clallam County Public Utility District customers who live east of the city limits and receive city water. Don't forget to call Paul Gotlieb and tell him you would like to know the year in his articles. Telephone number 360-452-2345, extension 5060, and tell him I said fucking hello. Thanks for watching. I'm reading from the PeninsulaDailyNews.com website. This is news for North Olympic Peninsula in Washington State. The city of Port Angeles. They're voting on fluoridation, but the asshole that wrote the article did not put a date. The article speaks about tonight, and there's no date. So how the hell do you know when tonight was? Every article should have a date. The heading says, Port Angeles water fluoridation. City council member plans to make motion to end treatment at meeting today. By Paul Gotlieb, Peninsula Daily News. Hey, Paul! Why don't you put a fucking date on your article? How the hell are we supposed to know when this took place? Even when they put a date, they don't put a fucking year. How are we supposed to know when this was written? Anyway, let me read the article. Port Angeles. Now that city water customers have spoken, the city council is likely to vote tonight on water fluoridation, and at least one council member said he will move to end the practice. City council member Lee Wetham said Monday he intends to make a motion at tonight's regular council meeting, if another council colleague does not, that the city end fluoridation of the municipal water supply when a contract with the Washington Dental Services Foundation expires May 18th. So you have dentists who are under contract to what? Supply the fluoride? It's non-pharmaceutical grade. This fluoride comes from spraying a mist at the chimney of the fertilizer